Here with Mike and Freddie in Talks with Mike.
Hello, folks. I'm a genre hopper. I set out to write novels many years ago, but I got sidetracked into comics. It took me 30 years to learn how to write a novel, but that's because I'm a slow learner, and when I get it, I get it. I now have 17 novels in print, maybe a couple more, I don't know, and people say, wow, that's a lot of novels. Well, no, it's not really a lot of novels. Kevin J. Anderson, a friend of mine and sometime publisher, has written 120 books. James Reasoner has written 350 novels. Andre Norton, the noted science fiction writer, wrote 663 novels. My friend Peter Brandvold has written at least 60 westerns. But they have an advantage over me. They have a work ethic that just won't quit. People say, Mike, you're so busy. How do you get all these books out? And I say, I don't know. I don't seem that busy to me when I look at these other people. I'm also a genre hopper. And that means I write in several different genres. My genres are hard-boiled crime, which are the biker novels, horror, such as Banshees, Scorpio, and Domain, and humor, such as Florida Man. Now, I've explained many times that the reason I wrote Florida Man was because Florida Man chose me to write his story. And by that I mean, every time I went online, there was another Florida Man headline. And after a while, I said, this guy is calling out for somebody to chronicle his story. However, many of the stories are disgusting and off-color and frankly unsavory. And I had to draw the line there. So even though Gary Duba is a redneck, living in a trailer down by the swamp, he's got a hair-triggered temper, he likes to get high, he likes to get stoned. He's been in and out of trouble with the cops his whole life, but he's got a heart of gold and would give you the shirt off his back. And that's one of the things that makes the book so appealing. But I really want to talk about genre hopping. How is it that I write in 3 different genres? Well, it's the same for every wildly prolific writer. They write what's most popular. The Florida Man is by far my best-selling novel, so I'm working on Florida Man number 4. However, the biker novels have gotten a tremendous response, and I will not give up the genre because they are my homage to John D. MacDonald's Travis McGee. And that's the reason so many of us are writing today, because of John D. MacDonald, himself a wildly prolific novelist over the years. And I've said this before, but you may not have heard of him, you may not have heard of Travis McGee, but you've probably seen the movie Cape Fear, which has been made twice, and that's based on John D. MacDonald's books. One of the great genre hoppers of all time was Richard Matheson, who wrote I Am Legend, which has been made into movies twice now. He also wrote What Dreams May Come, which was made into a movie starring Robin Williams. He also wrote The Incredible Shrinking Man, which was made into a movie. All these movies were in different genres. Matheson was lucky in that his novels caught on with Hollywood, and there are probably many more movies based on his novels than I've mentioned here. But he also loved to write, like we all do. Elmore Leonard was all over the place as well. And I've mentioned this before, but Elmore Leonard didn't outline his novels. He just sat down and let it flow. Some of Elmore Leonard's novels include Raylan. That's not what it was originally called, but you know it is Justified on TV. Rum Punch, which was made into a movie. Get Shorty, which was made into a movie. Out of Sight, which was made into a movie. Hombre, which was made into a movie. And Valdez is Coming, which was made into a movie. The last 2 are westerns. The ones prior to that are crime, sometimes tongue-in-cheek crime, but crime nonetheless. It takes place in the present day. As far as those 2 westerns, Hombre and Valdez is Coming, both of them are in my top 10 best westerns ever made. So I encourage you to see those movies. It seems like the Western genre is on the ropes right now, but it's just a passing phase. Americans love tales of the West. They are uniquely American, and they deal with the taming of the frontier as a recurring theme. There's certainly a recurring theme in the movies that I love, such as The Wild Bunch or The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. But to get back to novelists who are wildly prolific and write genre movies, I want to make a shout out to James Reesner, who is alive and well and writing now. James has written 350 novels. He's probably writing one right now. Now, James has written hard-boiled crime and westerns because, like a lot of us, we love pulp. That's what we call fiction, novels that are written for pure entertainment. And there are some novels that are so well written that they elevate themselves out of pulp. But pulp is not a derogatory term. It covers everything from trash that only sells a handful of copies to great masters like the guys I've already mentioned. Elmore Leonard and Richard Matheson were pulp writers. I'd also like to mention William H. Hallahan. He only wrote 13 novels, but they were all over the place. There were police procedurals, crime novels, and horror, and I urge you to check him out. Not many people have heard about him. And finally, there's Andre Norton. She worked in the science fiction field, and while the overwhelming majority of her work was in science fiction, she wrote 663 novels. So here I am with 18 novels in print, and people say, "Gee, Mike, how do you do it? You must write all the time." Well, no, I don't write enough. I don't have that work ethic that I wish I did, that many of my friends do. I can write maybe 3 novels a year, and I try to write those novels. But as far as the genres, I write wherever the story calls me, and I'm sure this is true of the other authors too. I always say my stories choose me, and I think that these stories chose their authors. Of course, it depends on your predilection for one genre over another. And there are a lot of people just want to write crime novels, and I'm one of them, but not just crime novels. I like humor and horror too. I don't see any horror novels in the immediate future, but I see a lot more bikers, and I see a lot more Florida men. So there's nothing wrong with genre hopping as long as you entertain and the writing is good.
Okay, great. Yeah, so this topic came up because there's some writers who stay in a certain theme or type of stories, and others who have a variety type of stories that they like to write. So that's very informative. Anything new coming up, or?
Well, I turned in my 10th biker novel, and this one co-stars Chuck Dixon's character Lee Von Cade. We're all very excited about it. It's going to get a big push next spring when the Lee Von Cade movie comes out, starring Jason Statham as Lee Von Cade.
Okay, great. And then isn't there like a new Nexus coming out or being published?
Well, yeah,
soon?
But these are graphic novels. I'm
Yes.
excited about them. The first one, which we're going to go into as soon as we wrap up Florida Man versus Hogzilla, is Scourge. It is written, I wrote it, but it is drawn, inked, and colored by Kelsey. Dog break. Oh, how dare they? Somebody's walking by the house with a dog.
A little intermission break. But anyway, who is the artist again?
Kelsey Shannon.
Oh, very
and it's
good.
the best work of his career. And he was born to draw Nexus. When you see that art, your head will explode. And he's working on a second graphic novel, Nexus, which we will offer next year further down the road. But right now we're concentrating on Scourge because it's ready to go.
Scourge is a Nexus.
Yes, it is.
Okay, graphic novel. All right, very good. Freddie is checking that no one is
Freddie's showing admirable restraint.
robbing our house. Okay, well, great, very informative, and thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Grateful for all the fans and people that take time to listen to us. Bye-bye.